Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to help get you prepped for a live animal transporter job interview.
All right.
We're using resources from RoleCatcher, a career development platform.
Sounds good.
This deep dive goes way beyond like just your average interview advice.
Okay.
We're going right to the heart of what makes this unique role tick.
Mm-hmm.
Using real interview questions and some insights that we got from people in the industry.
Awesome.
So it's kind of like having a secret weapon, right?
Yeah.
Combining that insider knowledge with AI to just absolutely ace that interview.
So let's start by setting the scene. RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually gives us a pretty good overview of what a live animal transporter actually does. It's not just driving.
Right. It's about making sure those animals are safe and, feeling good the entire trip.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you're like an animal advocate on wheels.
Yeah. The guide highlights this really critical balance, between animal welfare, the logistics regulations.
Right. You're responsible for understanding how animals behave, managing those transport conditions, and adhering to some pretty strict industry standards.
It's a pretty demanding role, right?
It is.
It requires compassion, but you've got to be professional too.
Absolutely. So that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in. Imagine like submitting a CV that's been, analyzed, optimized to match what they're looking for in the job description.
Okay.
That's RoleCatcher's superpower. It's going to help get you more interviews.
That's incredible. Okay, so let's look at some of these interview questions. RoleCatcher's interview guide is like our playbook here.
All right.
Breaking down those common questions and revealing what those interviewers really want to hear.
Okay.
The first one, how did you become interested in live animal transport? Seems kind of simple, but I bet there's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, you're right. This is your chance to, really showcase your passion for animal welfare. Interviewers want to see that spark, that deep-rooted care for animals that goes beyond just like, oh, it's a job.
So how do we answer that in a way that really, resonates?
Okay, so think about your own journey. What experiences got you here? Was it growing up on a farm, volunteering at a shelter, a documentary you watched?
Oh, interesting.
You want to weave a story, highlight your empathy and that dedication to animals.
So it's about more than just, I love animals.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid to tell a quick story. You're not just transporting animals. You're responsible for their well-being, Let that passion come through.
I like that. It's about connecting with the interviewer on a personal level.
Yeah.
Okay. What steps do you take to ensure the safety and well-being of the animals during transport? That seems a little more technical.
It is. So here the interviewer wants to see what you know about animal care during transportation. You got to go beyond the basics, like food, water, and shelter.
Okay.
Demonstrate you really understand what animals need.
So like temperature control, ventilation, secure enclosures, and like how to handle different species.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to get specific. Mention the types of vehicles you've used or equipment you're familiar with. Any certifications you have in animal handling, your knowledge of the different species and, their specific needs.
So it's about showing you're an expert and that you're responsible.
Right. And this is actually where RoleCatcher's AI can be really valuable.
Okay. How's that?
Let's say you're applying for a role transporting exotic birds.
Okay.
RoleCatcher can, analyze the job description, identify the keywords related to avian care.
Interesting.
And then suggest that you include those keywords in your answer.
Oh, that's so helpful.
It makes sure that your answer is tailored to that specific job. It shows you've done your research and that you understand what the job really entails.
Yeah.
Now let's look at a question that tends to throw people off.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you encountered a difficult or unexpected situation during animal transport and how you handled it?
Oh, that one sounds a bit intimidating.
It can be, but it's a great chance to show off your problem-solving skills. Show them you can stay calm when things get tough.
Okay, so how do we approach that one?
You want to use the STAR method?
STAR method.
Situation, task, action, result. So, briefly describe the challenge, explain your role in fixing it, the actions you took, and the positive outcome.
So maybe an example would be like dealing with a sudden change in the weather and having to reroute or find shelter for the animals. Yeah. Or like a mechanical problem that delayed the transport.
Exactly. Walk them through your decision-making process. Show how you prioritize the animal safety while you're working towards a solution.
Oh.
Did you call a vet for advice? Did you come up with a backup plan?
So it's about showing you can think on your feet and deal with unexpected stuff.
Right. And after you craft your answer, imagine practicing it with RoleCatcher's AI.
Interesting.
You can record yourself, get real-time feedback on your delivery, the content, even like your tone of voice.
Oh, wow.
It's like having an interview coach right there with you.
Okay, so let's move on to another question. How do you maintain communication and coordination with clients and other team members during animal transport?
Hmm.
Seems pretty straightforward, but I imagine communication is like super important in this job.
Absolutely. This question is all about whether you can collaborate effectively, keep everyone informed, and make sure those transports run smoothly.
So it's about more than just making phone calls.
Yeah.
What kind of details should we include to show we have strong communication skills?
Think about the types of updates you'd provide, like estimated arrival times, any changes in the route or schedule because of, something unexpected, and obviously any issues with the animal's health.
Okay.
Highlight your tech skills too. GPS, tracking, messaging apps, anything a company uses.
So being good with technology is important.
Definitely. It's also important to emphasize interpersonal skills too, being able to communicate clearly with everyone involved, clients, vets, other drivers.
Right, because you're like the face of the company on the road, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Your communication skills have a direct impact on those animals and how comfortable the client feels.
Okay, this next question's a classic. What do you believe are the most important qualities for a live animal transporter to possess? I'm guessing it's not enough to just say, I love animals.
You got it. This one is your chance to show you understand those core values and traits that make a great live animal transporter.
So besides loving animals, what else should we mention?
Think about things like responsibility, attention to detail, staying calm under pressure, a knack for solving problems. Maybe you're a natural planner, or you thrive on organization, or maybe you're known for keeping your cool in stressful situations.
Oh, okay.
Try to connect those qualities back to your own strengths and show how they make you perfect for this demanding role.
It's about showing how my strengths match up with what they're looking for.
Exactly. And again, RoleCatcher can help.
Okay.
It can analyze that job description, figure out what traits they want, and then you can tailor your response to fit the company's culture.
That's really smart. Okay, let's tackle another one. How do you stay up to date on industry regulations and best practices related to live animal transport? It seems like it's all about showing that you're always learning.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The industry's changing all the time with new technologies, regulations, best practices. They want to see that you're proactive and staying ahead of the game.
So how do we impress them with this one?
Highlight your dedication to staying informed. Mention any professional organizations you belong to, certifications you've earned, workshops or conferences you've attended. Maybe you subscribe to industry journals or, follow reputable sources online.
So it's about showing I'm committed to professional development.
Exactly. And if you can mention a recent regulation change and how it affects your work, it shows you're really plugged into what's happening in the industry.
That's a great tip. Okay, on to the next one. Could you describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision during animal transport? This feels like it could be a tricky one.
It can be, but it's not about getting the quote-unquote right answer. It's about showing your ethics, your thought process, how you make good judgments in tough situations.
So what kind of scenarios would they be looking for?
Think about situations where there are no easy answers.
Okay.
Maybe an animal is showing signs of distress, but the closest vet is hours away. Or you have to decide between delaying the transport and potentially missing a deadline.
Those are some tough choices.
They are. By walking them through your reasoning, showing that you considered all the options, the risks, and made a decision based on what was best for the animals, you demonstrate that you're mature and you have sound judgment.
So it's about showing I can make responsible, ethical decisions even when I'm under pressure.
Exactly. And don't forget, you can use RoleCatcher's AI to fine-tune your answer, practice record it, get feedback.
Oh, okay.
It's a really helpful tool for those tough questions. Okay, moving on. How do you ensure that all necessary permits and paperwork are in order for each animal transport? This one sounds like it's all about organization and attention to detail.
Yeah, for sure.
Live animal transport involves a lot of regulations. Import-export permits, health certificates, route approvals, and more. You need to show that you're organized, thorough, and on top of all that paperwork.
So I need to prove I can handle complex logistics and follow all the regulations.
Right. Talk about your systems for organizing documents, double-checking information, and keeping accurate records. You could even mention a time when you caught a mistake that could have caused a delay or a legal problem.
Oh, wow.
Highlighting those proactive problem-solving skills is key.
All right, we're on our last question for this part. How do you ensure that each animal receives appropriate care and attention during transport? It seems like a good opportunity to bring it back to why we're all here, animal welfare.
You're absolutely right. This question lets you show your dedication to going the extra mile for those animals. It's about showing you see them as individuals, not just cargo.
So go beyond the basics, right? Like food, water, shelter.
Exactly. Talk about the little things that make a difference. Checking on them regularly, providing enrichment activities if it's appropriate, even just talking to them calmly to reduce stress.
So those little details really matter.
They do.
Yeah.
And maybe mention any special skills you have, like recognizing early signs of distress or illness in different species.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The more you can show your commitment to the well-being of every animal, the more you'll stand out as a top candidate.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I've got a much better grasp on what it takes to do well in a live animal transporter interview.
That's great to hear.
We've covered a lot of important questions.
Definitely.
When we come back, we'll dive into how RoleCatcher's AI can really help you tailor your answers for specific jobs.
We'll look at some real-world examples and show you how to use this technology to make your answers stand out and highlight your passion and expertise.
Sounds good.
Stick around. So welcome back. We've been talking about some key questions you might get asked in an interview for a live animal transporter job. But now let's see how RoleCatcher's AI can really help you nail those answers.
Okay, yeah, we've touched on how important it is to tailor your responses to each specific job.
Right.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI really shines.
It does. It helps you stand out from the crowd, you know?
So how does this AI magic actually work?
Okay, so let's say you're applying for a job with a company that specializes in transporting horses.
Oh.
RoleCatcher can look at the job description and pick out keywords that are related to horse care handling and transport.
So like equine first aid, trailer loading and unloading, knowledge of different horse breeds, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And then it can recommend you work those keywords into your answers. Remember that question about a difficult situation you face?
Yeah, the one with the bad weather or the truck breaking down.
Right. RoleCatcher might suggest you talk about how you kept a horse calm during a storm or how you managed a trailer breakdown while still making sure the horses were safe and comfy.
That's amazing. It's like having a cheat sheet for answering those tough questions.
It is. And it's not just keywords either. RoleCatcher's AI can look at the company's website and social media to get a sense of their values and culture.
So if they're really big on sustainability, RoleCatcher might suggest you mention your experience with eco-friendly transport methods.
Exactly. It's all about matching your answers to what the company cares about and showing them you're not just qualified, but you'd be a good fit for their team.
Wow, this takes all the guesswork out of it.
It does. And there's even more. RoleCatcher can actually give you feedback on how you're answering the questions in real time.
Oh.
So you can practice your responses and get personalized tips on your pacing your tone, how clear you're being.
It's like having a personal coach in your pocket.
It is. You can record yourself answering questions and get feedback on things like eye contact, body language, even how often you use filler words.
I know, I say way too much when I'm nervous.
We all have our little habits. But with RoleCatcher, you can spot them and work on getting rid of them so you can be more confident and professional.
This is amazing. It's like a secret weapon for acing interviews.
It is. But remember, AI can be a great tool, but you still need to be yourself and let your passion show through.
That's true. It's about using these tools to highlight your strengths and present yourself in the best light.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a minute and look at some of the things we learned from RoleCatcher's career guide.
Okay.
Did you know that the live animal transporter profession is changing super fast?
I've heard a bit about all the new technology coming out.
Yeah, so the guide talks about how technology is changing everything from GPS tracking and route planning to these advanced monitoring systems that make sure the animals are safe and comfortable.
So it's not just about getting them from point A to point B anymore. It's about making the whole experience as stress-free as possible.
Exactly. Imagine sensors that track the temperature, the humidity, even the animal's vital signs in real time.
Wow.
You'll get alerts about potential problems before they even happen.
That's amazing. It's incredible how much technology is helping improve animal welfare.
It really is. And this is something you can bring up in your interview answers.
Oh, okay.
Well, when you're talking about your commitment to animal welfare, you could mention how familiar you are with these new technologies and how they help make the transport process more humane and efficient.
That's a great point. It shows you're not just passionate, but you're also in the know about the latest advancements.
Exactly. It shows you're serious about this.
This is so insightful.
Yeah.
I'm feeling super prepared to handle any question they throw at me.
That's the spirit. Remember, being prepared is key. Combine your passion, your knowledge, and the awesome tools RoleCatcher gives you, and you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We've covered so much about what it takes to be a live animal transporter and how to get the job.
It's been a great discussion.
Before we wrap up, though, I want to talk about one more thing, the importance of showing how you can contribute to animal welfare during the interview.
That's a great point. It's not just about your skills and experience, but about showing that you're truly committed to taking care of the animals.
So how can we get that across, that passion and dedication?
Think about your own journey. What made you fall in love with animals? What motivates you to fight for their well-being?
Maybe it's a memory from childhood, like rescuing a stray animal or a fascination with wildlife and wanting to protect them.
Exactly. Share those stories.
Mhm.
Connect with the interviewer on a personal level. Show them the compassion that drives you to succeed in this role.
So it's about showing them it's more than just a job. It's a calling.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, being a live animal transporter is about so much more than logistics and regulations. It's about making a difference in the lives of those animals, making sure they're safe, comfortable, and well cared for on their journey.
I love that. We've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored what it means to be a live animal transporter, looked at key interview questions, and seen how RoleCatcher's AI can help us prepare.
It's been a really insightful conversation.
And to all those aspiring live animal transporters out there, remember, you have the power to make a real difference in the lives of animals.
You do.
Combine your passion with good preparation, use the tools that are available to you.
And never forget the power of your own story. Let that dedication shine through, and you'll be on the road to a rewarding career in this amazing field.
We've learned a lot about what it takes to be a live animal transporter and how to really nail that interview.
Yeah, we've talked about how to craft strong answers, how to use AI to get personalized feedback, and even how this profession is changing with technology.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one last thought.
Okay.
What really makes a candidate stand out is their passion for animal welfare.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just checking off the boxes on a job description.
Right.
It's about truly caring about animals and treating them ethically and with compassion.
Absolutely.
So when you're preparing for that interview, remember to let that passion shine through.
Definitely.
Share your stories, tell them about your values, show them how dedicated you are to making sure every animal in your care is safe and healthy.
That's what it's all about.
Because at the end of the day, that's what makes a great live animal transporter.
Yeah.
That genuine love for animals.
Couldn't agree more.
And remember, you've got a ton of resources to help you.
That's right.
RoleCatcher's Career guides their AI tools. All those interview questions, they're all super helpful.
For sure.
So go out there, ace that interview, and start a rewarding career where you can truly make a difference in the lives of animals.
Best of luck to all those aspiring live animal transporters out there.
That wraps up our deep dive into the world of live animal transporters. We hope you feel informed and ready to go after your dream job.
It's been a great discussion.
Remember, your passion and dedication are your biggest strengths. Good luck, and we'll see you on our next deep dive.